Hey guys, what's up? This is Ali Hamza and you are watching Visual Corner. Today we will talk about 10 WWE superstars who came from poor backgrounds. Rags to Riches story are not only a hit on Hollywood screens, it is mighty impressive in real life as well. And when you come in from a poor background and make it big in a business like the wrestling industry, then the amount of respect in the whole scenario reaches that extra high level. Although there are a lot of hurdles in every profession out there, wrestling business really delivers a lot of big ones which are hard to overcome. This is why the rags to riches story of professional wrestlers are most inspiring than most of its counterpart out there. A lot of current superstars as well as a handful of WWE alumni made it to the top from a poor background, and here is a look at some of them. If you thought you cannot find any more reason to love Dean Ambrose, think again. The lunatic fringe was brought up in Cincinnati and spent most of his childhood in public housing. He saw wrestling as an escape from the rough childhood he had and dreamed of becoming like his idols. After starting wrestling training, Ambrose dropped out after high school because wrestling was what he wanted to do. Ambrose would then go on to sell popcorns and set up rings to earn a living until he got regular gig in the independent scene. Most of his personal life is still a mystery, and if WWE decides to make a DVD on that, it is sure to end up being a big hit. The new fans will just see Booker T as a Hall of Fame announcer, but there is more to him what meets the eye. Booker's mother passed away when he was just 13, and he soon landed up in the wrong part of the streets. Booker was arrested and sentenced for 5 years in prison back in 1987. He did serve a good amount of time inside the prison, and once he came out, his brother found him a proper job. Their friend then helped them get some wrestling training, and the brothers soon made it into the Booker went on to have a celebrated career and still a legend into the business. Lita was one of the divas who changed the way we looked at female wrestlers. She developed a love for the wrestling business when she saw the likes of Rey Mysterio and the other latest wrestlings. She, however, didn't have enough money to take up wrestling training and had to do a lot of odd jobs for the same. One of those odd jobs was dancing in the club in Mexico. She was named Misty Bag, and this was what financed her wrestling education. There were also rumors about Lita doing sexual favors to get her training, and even though we don't know about the real story, she did go through a lot of time to reach where she is today. The life of Adam Rose was really exposed in the E60 ESPN special. It really went deep into her personal life and family, and also took a look back into his days before wrestling. Born into the streets of South Africa, Rose had to sleep in abandoned buildings and fight on the streets to survive. It was the interesting in professional wrestling that got his life back on track, and he started his career at the tender age of 16. That is, he had his run in the streets before he was 16. Imagine that, almost a decade later, he made it to the WWE, and still Rose is going through a lot of trouble to make a future for his family. Edge is currently around the wrestling business as a legend, but to get there, he did go through a lot of tough battles. Things started falling apart for him even before he was born. His father left the home while Edge was still unborn, and once he was born, his mother had to work day and night to make ends meet. Edge's dreams of making it into the wrestling business took a big blow due to the same as he had to help his mother. The rated R superstar never gave up, and once he stood up on his feet, he resumed his pursuit of a wrestling career and ended up reaching the top. Roddy Piper was one of the major players back in the 80s and 90s. He headlined the first ever WrestleMania, and that is pretty much enough to show how he was treated back then. Reddy's personal life is as chaotic as his wrestling career. He left his home at an age of 13 and started living in streets and youth hostels. People took up wrestling job for $25 just for the settling of his rent. This was the official start of his wrestling career, and he went on to a build of Hall of Fame worthy run.